The chandeliers of the Riverside Grand Hotel sparkled like stars caught in crystal. It was the city's most prestigious charity gala, a gathering of power, wealth, and influence. Among the guests stood Evelyn Carter, a billionaire businesswoman admired by everyone. But tonight, her eyes weren't on the donors or the cameras. They were on her daughter, Amelia. Amelia, 16 years old, stood quietly beside her mother in a soft blue dress. Beautiful, elegant, and completely silent. She had been deaf since birth. To the crowd, she looked calm and composed. But inside, she felt invisible. People smiled at her, but never spoke to her. They only spoke about her. When one guest leaned in and asked Evelyn, "Does she understand anything we're saying?" Amelia's chest tightened. She didn't wait for her mother's reply. She turned away and walked out of the ballroom, down the quiet corridor near the kitchen. And that's where she met Daniel Rivera, a hotel waiter refilling glasses for the event. He noticed her standing alone, eyes heavy with sadness. And then he raised his hands and began to sign. "Are you okay?" Amelia froze. Someone, a complete stranger, was speaking her language. Her hands moved quickly. ASL? Daniel nodded with a warm smile. "My sister's deaf. Been signing since I was a kid. You looked like you needed someone to talk to." For the first time that night, Amelia smiled. A real smile. They signed for several minutes, talking about school, dreams, and life. "I want to build technology for people like me," Amelia signed. "Something that actually helps, because I know what's missing." Daniel nodded. "Then you're going to change the world, Amelia, because you understand it." For the first time all evening, Amelia felt seen. Just then, Evelyn appeared at the doorway. "Amelia, there you are," she began, but stopped when she saw Daniel signing. Amelia turned toward her mother, signing and voicing. "Mom, he knows sign language. We've been talking, really talking." Evelyn blinked, surprised. A waiter, doing what no one else in the room could. "You know ASL?" she asked softly. Daniel nodded. "My sister's deaf, ma'am. I just wanted your daughter to feel included." Evelyn smiled, humbled. "Daniel, I think the world could use more people like you." 6 months later, everything had changed. Evelyn hired Daniel as inclusion consultant at Carter Technologies. His first mission, teaching the staff American Sign Language. Soon, the company launched accessibility programs that inspired other businesses nationwide. Amelia and Daniel worked side by side, developing an app to help deaf users communicate more easily. Their friendship became a movement. Daniel's sister joined the company as a junior developer. Amelia found her purpose, not as a billionaire's daughter, but as a young innovator. A year later, the charity gala returned to the same ballroom. But this time, it looked different. ASL interpreters stood on stage. Visual captions filled the big screens. And every guest wore a pin that read, "Sparkles, I sign, you matter." Amelia stepped up to the podium, with Daniel beside her as her interpreter. "Last year," she began, "I stood here feeling invisible, surrounded by people who could talk but not communicate." Her voice trembled slightly. "It took one person, someone everyone else overlooked, to teach me what real inclusion means." Daniel's hands translated every word. "Inclusion isn't about fixing people," Amelia continued. "It's about listening, even when the voice you hear isn't made of sound." The audience rose to their feet, applauding with tears in their eyes. Evelyn watched from her table, heart full, eyes glistening. All the wealth in the world, and this moment was the richest of her life. Amelia turned to Daniel, smiling. "Thank you," she signed. Daniel smiled back. "No, thank you for teaching the world to listen." And so, the girl who once felt invisible helped an entire world see differently. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like. Share it with someone who believes in kindness. And subscribe for more stories that remind us true inclusion begins with understanding. Where are you watching from today?